Those little bumps you had on your face kind of alarmed me. You wouldn't be happy to taking PEDs, are you?
Listen, if you want to build in excuses right now,
no, I'm just asking.
Go ahead.
Because I was just wondering, I looked at your face, it looked kind of serious. You had some rage and you acting all unorthodox, you know, those are signs of the PEDs.
I'm gonna do a cycle of steroids to show people what Jake Paul on steroids actually looks like.
Fair. Is Jake Paul natural? No. I can say that with pretty certain confidence in that statement, mainly because, as you heard me mention, I know a lot of the people he trains with, and I have heard things.
Jake Paul facing a massive lawsuit over alleged steroid usage sounds crazy, but this storm is building faster than anyone expected, because when a YouTube star transforms into a knockout machine overnight, gaining power and muscle at lightning speed, the fight world starts counting red flags like ticking legal time bombs. And with leaked clips, expert accusations, and steroid whispers echoing through locker rooms, Jake stands inches away from a courtroom showdown that could change everything.
Are you taking PEDs?
No, sir.
Not at all. Okay.
No, sir.
That's
you think
what
he's on
feel like.
PEDs?
I don't care. You
Jake Paul did not just get stronger, he evolved at a rate that made even veteran fighters sit up and say, hold on, something's off here. Overnight, the skinny YouTube troublemaker turned into a bulked up wrecking ball, packing on muscle like he discovered a cheat code the rest of the sport never had access to. Not gradual progress, not slow growth, a sudden explosion of power, endurance, jawline density, and physical aggression so sharp it sliced through the internet like a blade.
A guy on steroids is blatantly going to exhibit some sort of actual physical representation of steroid use, like a traditional, roid monkey look. You're gonna have like more muscle mass. And
observers watched his shoulders widen, veins pop, acne flare across his face, punches get heavier, temperament get wilder, and these aren't fan theories pulled out of thin air. Multiple sports outlets have described his transformation as consistent with steroid influence, and boxing analysts whispered the same thing behind closed doors long before they ever said it on camera. Headlines from Give Me Sport, Yahoo, and columns circulating ringside weren't simply comments, they were warnings. Several medical professionals have pointed to physical traits Jake has displayed: dense jawline growth, acne outbreaks, fast muscular expansion, as hallmarks that align with steroid cycles. None of these observations serve as proof, but experts breaking silence is the moment rumor begins to resemble analysis. Because once the conversation shifts from fans guessing to doctors identifying patterns, the foundation for legal questioning becomes harder to ignore.
I believe that you're a cheater, and I believe that you use steroids. So I want to randomly steroid test you for the next 2 years.
Because physique isn't just aesthetics in boxing, it's currency, and Jake's body was printing money faster than nature ever allows. When one man skyrockets physically while everyone else spends years grinding for the same results, accusations don't come as rumors, they come as evidence in waiting. And that's where this entire situation begins to flirt dangerously close with legal territory, the kind where questions evolve into investigations, and investigations evolve into lawsuits. Jake himself has even addressed these accusations head on, and sometimes with fire. In one interview, he said that anyone accusing him of steroid use should be ready for lawsuits if they can't back it up. Instead of ignoring the chatter, he met it with hostility and legal language, which shows how deep the pressure has already sunk beneath his skin. When a fighter starts warning critics through legal threats, it suggests a man preparing for a courtroom long before he steps into one.
To tell people that you're not on steroids where you're just on steroids, because they'll get a legal TRT prescription from the doctor, their dealer fills in the rest. Normally they're on TRT, but they go through multiple month phases during the year where they go on super physiological doses.
The steroid narrative didn't just come from online speculation, though it emerged from fighters who understand how long it takes to build real power. Professionals who have trained their entire lives watched Jake Paul's rapid evolution and immediately sensed something beyond natural progression. Dylan Dennis, a close affiliate of Conor McGregor, even amplified suspicion by highlighting Jake's sudden acne flare-ups, sparking media platforms like the Express Tribune to circulate the accusation. And even Jake himself has acknowledged these allegations publicly, saying the internet always jumps to two conclusions: rigged fights or steroids. The fact that he hears it, reacts to it, and feels the need to respond shows that these claims are not noise to him. They are pressure on his back every single day.
They grow as athletes as they accumulate more muscle mass, generally with training age.
And also steroids.
This was the moment the conversation shifted from internet chatter to industry concern, because when seasoned athletes publicly question a transformation, the allegation gains weight, credibility, and the potential to escalate. If experts continue pointing to physical changes, aggression spikes, and accelerated muscle growth as indicators of PED enhancement, this forms the foundation for legal consequences. Unfair advantage claims, health risk accusations, breach of sports conduct, and manipulated competitive conditions. In disputes like this, opinion becomes testimony, testimony becomes evidence, and evidence is the first step toward a courtroom. Interestingly, Jake also mentioned doing routine blood panel testing every few months after gut issues and gluten sensitivity concerns. While he frames it as health maintenance, critics argue that frequent medical tracking is common among athletes monitoring hormone levels, especially those operating near enhancement thresholds. It adds a curious detail to his public profile, a man whose physique is questioned, yet whose biomarkers are closely monitored.
So people think I do steroids and all this shit. So I have a plan because I think it's fucking bizarre. That's like the only excuse they can come up with is like rigged fights. Jake Paul does steroids.
And here's where Jake accidentally poured gasoline on his own fire. He once joked that when he retires, he'll do a real steroid cycle just to prove how different he would look. Many laughed, but critics took it as something else, a slip-up, or maybe a subconscious confession. Because when a man says he'll show the world what Jake Paul on steroids actually looks like, the internet doesn't hear humor, it hears motive. When legendary trainer Teddy Atlas publicly questioned the legitimacy of Jake Paul's upcoming fight with Mike Tyson, the tone around this controversy shifted dramatically. Atlas suggested the match felt more like scripted entertainment than a pure combat test, hinting the industry sensed something artificial beneath the surface. For a veteran of his stature to express doubt is not casual commentary. It's a warning shot. It signals that boxing insiders suspect more than hype, and suspicion fuels investigation.
Something to take so you can make the weight a little bit easier, you know, something you can take that can make you a little bit stronger, something that you can take to make you a bit more explosive, and there's, you know, and if you know what you're...
Ricky Hatton, another recognized figure in the sport, echoed that same unease by saying old boxing champions would be turning in their graves watching this matchup unfold. His criticism didn't target the fight itself, but the idea that a crossover celebrity could physically compete with an icon unless an external boost existed. Comments like these add credibility to the steroid conversation, especially when they come from men who understand athletic limits better than anyone. When respected voices align, rumors begin converting into claims, and claims are what precede legal steps in cases of enhancement abuse. And this controversy doesn't end with steroids. Many fans have suggested that some of Jake's biggest fights, especially the Tyson one, felt more spectacle than sport. His promotion team denied fight rigging claims, but public trust remains divided. When the legitimacy of wins is questioned and enhancement rumors swirl, the narrative stops being about boxing and becomes about integrity, ad money, contracts, and global broadcast deals. And you have the recipe for litigation fuel.
4 months we're going to test you, you got to stay clean.
Sure.
We can do it. He skipped all that, and he has only 4 weeks where they can test him.
Okay.
Does no one think this is fishy?
As the Tyson versus Jake Paul fight began gaining hype, the undercard chaos started raising eyebrows across the sport. Astrid Wett suddenly challenged ex-Manchester City star Jill Scott, and within hours, Abaney Bridges jumped in wanting her own shot. Instead of organized matchups, the card began looking like a social media free-for-all. Fans watched the event shift from professional boxing to entertainment booking. Loud, unpredictable, and lacking structure. When fights are chosen for headlines instead of rankings, people naturally start questioning fairness and regulation inside the event. And when those questions sit right next to steroid rumors, the situation becomes even more unstable. Promoters, athletic commissions, and even opponents could eventually argue that the fight was unsafe or unfair if PED usage is ever proven. In that scenario, controversy doesn't stay online. It becomes paperwork, claims, and legal pressure.
Is it official that he failed it now?
Yes, he failed 2 tests actually. So he's probably going to look at a 2-year suspension from MMA.
The accusations against Jake Paul didn't suddenly appear. They've been following him through multiple fight camps. Fans pointed out that Jake looked very different when he fought Tommy Fury compared to his more recent appearances. Bigger, thicker, stronger, almost transformed. Some even suggested testosterone therapy or other enhancement methods might explain how fast his body changed. These conversations never died. They just waited for the right moment to explode again. This isn't a one-time controversy. The same accusations resurfaced before fights with Nate Diaz, Mike Perry, and even earlier career bouts. Every fight camp, the same shadow grows a little longer. When allegations repeat across years and multiple matchups, they stop looking like isolated opinions and start looking like a pattern. And legal systems respond to patterns far faster than they respond to isolated claims.
Right? He took estrogen blockers. And the only reason that anybody takes estrogen blocker on purpose is to restart their testosterone after they do a steroid cycle.
Jake tried shutting the talk down once by posting a negative drug test online, hoping it would silence the speculation. Instead, it only added more curiosity because people wondered why one test appeared randomly instead of consistent official testing. And when he openly said he loves cheat meals, loves eating heavy, enjoys food freely, critics asked how someone with that lifestyle maintains a superhero physique under fight stress. It created a contradiction, and one that steroid theorists love to dissect. This is where legal risks start stacking. If opponents later claim they fought a chemically enhanced athlete, they could argue the fight was unfair and financially damaging.
He's 6'6", 260 pounds with an 82-inch reach. I mean, just look at us next to each other.
As promotion grew, Jake Paul hyped the fight as one of the biggest ticket events in the sport, calling it the hottest ticket ever. But fans pushed back fast, arguing that the excitement was built on Mike Tyson's legacy, not Jake's skill. Ticket prices range from around $200 to over $500 for premium seating, numbers that sparked debate across social media. People weren't just watching a fight now, they were watching a controversy inflate in real time. When a fighter becomes the center of an event this financially heavy, every accusation matters more. A proven PED claim during a multi-million-dollar card creates legal opportunities instantly. Refunds, sponsor lawsuits, damage claims, regulatory punishment. The bigger the business, the bigger the risk if cheating ever gets exposed.
Jake versus Joshua. Judgment Day, December 19th, live from Miami at the Kaseya Center. 8 3-minute rounds in a professionally heavyweight sanctioned bout.
Netflix announcing the fight changed everything. This wasn't just a boxing event anymore. It became a global broadcast with millions watching and millions of dollars behind it. Analyst Andrew Schultz even said it could become one of the most viewed fights in history. A fight on this scale isn't just entertainment. It's a high-risk business investment, and that's where the lawsuit angle sharpens. If a fight streamed worldwide is later linked to performance-enhancing drugs, Netflix, advertisers, and distributors could claim they were misled. A single verified PED violation could trigger refund demands, breached contract claims, and massive financial blowback. The bigger the platform behind Jake, the bigger the consequences if enhancement allegations ever hold weight in a legal setting.
He's not that same kid. That's why I keep telling those MMA guys. Every time they tell me, I got a chance to fight Jake Paul, I'm like, man, don't do it because...
And sponsors don't forget, they invest in reputations, not controversy. A global corporation like Netflix backing a fight tainted by enhancement whispers is playing with reputational fire. If evidence ever validated those doubts, streaming giants, advertisers, and promotion partners would have every reason to pursue damages, not out of anger, but because business protects money and money protects itself through law. Just when things were already heating up, Ryan Garcia threw gasoline on the fire by calling Jake and Paul out publicly. Their back and forth online sparked a whole new wave of attention. Garcia promising to end the Jake Paul boxing thing, while Jake told him to calm down. This wasn't friendly competition anymore. It was ego, pride, and reputation clashing in front of the world. Fans immediately picked sides, and the noise got even louder.
Flag, without a doubt, is how Jake Paul just continuously turns down the drug test.
With another potential super fight on the horizon, stakes rise even higher for Jake if PED allegations ever solidify. Fighting two high-profile names back-to-back multiplies financial responsibility, medical regulation, and contractual expectations. If anyone later claims unfair competition due to enhancement use, legal challenges become more realistic, especially in fights worth millions. One wrong move here, and the courtroom could become Jake's biggest opponent yet. Jake Paul stands inside the biggest spotlight of his career. massive opponents, global streaming, and money pouring in from every direction. But with that spotlight comes heat, and the steroid allegations hovering over him aren't fading. Analysts, fans, fighters, everyone is watching closely, waiting for the next slip, leak, or test result. One confirmed detail could flip everything, instantly transforming suspicion into action.
Everybody's on steroids. The whole UFC, everybody.
Your teammate Gil and Jake were 2 caught on steroids.
Legal pressure doesn't always appear overnight. Sometimes it builds quietly in the background, piece by piece. Each accusation adds weight. Each expert comment adds credibility. Each viral clip adds fuel. If all those pieces ever connect, Jake Paul could face more than booze, memes, or criticism. He could face lawyers, claims, damages, and a courtroom that punches harder than Mike Tyson ever could. So, do you think this storm ends in the ring or in court? Comment your take below, like, share, and subscribe.